Hello, guys. So today we are talking about a topic that has been trending for quite a bit now. One of the hottest artists in Ghana at the moment, Black Sherif, has he left his old management team? Has he struck a deal with new management team from Nigeria, from Ghana, or wherever? Stick and stay. We're going to find out all the details you need to know.
Man calling rice, so got my feet back 10 toes. Where they are, we go shine on boy, I cry, we do I'm alone. Kill a man from the zone, go, I be trapping, and you know. So mind how you they speak to me, don't be raising up your tones. Mess around with the sad boys, you go feel them inside your bones. And as you be here with the walk, while life, we take this guy with strokes. I never see nobody try with size in knee hard, don't be close.
All right, so welcome back. I have with me Kweku Christo. That's an interesting name. Where did you get it from?
It's a name I created for myself because basically they're saying every Kwaku is Bonsam, but I want to replace it and change it, so I'm Kwaku Christo.
The new wave. Good. And you are the PA to...
Personal assistant to Snap Chavas, who is the CEO of Chavas Consult, and the business manager of Black Sherif.
What really happened when we heard or saw that Black Sherif was parking his things from where they had rented for him and living? What is the story behind it?
Yeah, actually, about 3 weeks ago, my boss had a confrontation with him. And basically, we had signed an agreement with managing Black Sherif, which took place on the 18th of August last year. So inside that agreement, my boss had the obligation to provide certain things, certain incentives for him, because that's what our company is keen or interested in doing. Basically, our company is here to try and change the face of artist management and also how to make sure we improve the status of our artists to match up with how they blow or how they are trending or how people are seeing them. So we give them a nice appeal so that in case they should go on a bigger platform or meet any other artists, they will not be intimidated by their presence. So this is a copy of our agreement, business contract agreement with Black Sherif, and probably you could just zoom for the date because most of them is a little bit confidential. Yeah. But the reason why we want...
I can see the date. It says 18th of the 8th, which is August to 2021. Yeah. That was when business management contract, that's what the document says, what was signed.
So the whole story began like last year, I think April, when Fred, he's the road manager of Black Sherif, approached my boss that they needed someone to invest in Black Sherif's craft. But my boss said he had a lot of things on his hands, so he wasn't ready that time. So they should just tell him what they need, and if he can be of help, he would just help them out from a distance because he also appreciates Sherif's talent. So they said they needed a car and some cash. So my boss gave them Chevy Cruise for them to use for their errands and make things easier.
That was outside of the contract?
Outside of the contract, 4 months before August. So they kept persisting. Fred kept persisting because he used to play football with my boss on Sundays. So they had this cordial relationship. So he kept persisting. And then when he came back again, that was, I think, after second sermon had blown. He was like, this track has really been out there, but we need the resources to keep up with the fame and all that. And my boss consulted us because he has a team that this is what is going on. The guy has been persisting for long and we should just look into the talent.
So let me get it right. The worry for him was to keep up with the appearance so that people would think, that because he's blonde, he's well-to-do.
It's not basically bad, his talent had proven that he's good. So he needed someone to invest in him. Okay. Yeah, to put more money in him so that all the things he wants to do will be smooth. Because we know that even if you have talent and you don't have anybody pushing you with resources, it's very difficult, especially in this part of Africa. So that the deal was basically they were pushing for someone who could manage him entirely. So he said he will give it a thought, and we put him through some scrutiny. So after the A&R for our entity took rounds with them, he said, oh, he has listened to most of his tracks and he thinks he has the prospects for the future.
I mean, when you have an A&R within your company, it means you're quite structured. Is this a business that has existed in terms of managing artists in the past, or it's new?
It has existed in terms of managing artists, because my boss had started a Two Hype Gang, way back, but there was a little problem with Stone Showboy, so he had to pull back and start something different. So now when Chavas Consult is into artist management, not only artist, talent management, and we also help the needy and all that. So we have helped some footballers, help them to travel and all that without signing even a management deal with them. So basically we are here to support. Yeah.
So after convincing, your boss now agreed to have a new like some sort of a management deal. What is in a nutshell entailed in this agreement?
This agreement is valid for 5 years, and my boss, on his part, is supposed to give Black Sherif his resources, because he had asked them to present a proposal, and they did. And in this proposal, they were requesting for accommodation and transportation, and then something for his looks, his appearance. We needed to upgrade it and all that.
So is this a lump sum for, say, a year or monthly basis? How were you, especially I'm interested in the outlook, the looks, were you giving him?
Yeah, sure, sure. No, we were not giving him money, but we have our rep in America that does more of our purchasing for us. So we had liaised with him that, okay, this is an artist coming on board, our entity, so we want you to be negotiating with him, whatever he wants. He sent it to my boss, and then if he approves, then he just... So we everything he was wearing, we were buying it from America for, and then we ship it. We go pick it up from FedEx or whatever with him. So that's how the whole thing was going.
So in a nutshell, it says what you are giving him, but what was he giving back to you?
Yeah, what he was supposed to give back was 20% of whatever proceeds that comes out of his craft or his talent, or whatever product we put out, the deals, whatever that comes to him. Yeah, after we have given him the brand he was seeking for.
Okay, on a monthly basis.
It's not basically on a monthly basis, because shows come, it's time bound, as it happens. But the shocking thing is, from August up to this time, my boss had come up with a new strategy that he has seen he's hardworking, and he's 100% pure talent, and he thinks he needs to build his financial confidence. So my boss was not taking the 20%. He said, whatever that comes, we put it in your account. So when you realize you have this X amount in your account, then nobody can just come to your face with just any deal or anything that will just make you feel inferior.
So that means anytime there was some money coming in, it was going to whose account?
It was going to Black Sherif's account, but they will pay into our account because we are dealing with them. Yeah, so it will be paid into our account. That is Wayne Chavas. And then from there, we just transfer it to Black Sherif's account. And that was his bookings manager, that is his cousin, Farouk, who was in charge of going to make sure the money was retrieved from our account and being deposited into Black Sherif's account.
So which part of this arrangement is he no longer happy with, and why is he leaving, if he's leaving?
There was this deal that came up with Empire, and they brought the contract. But I think before my boss met Black Sherif, he had a contract with Empire, which had expired last year, October.
Black Sherif had a contract?
Yeah, with Empire, but it had expired last year, October. So they had to renew it. So when Empire brought the new contract, my boss said the terms in it is not going to help the artist. So he doesn't think it's right for him to sign it. And I think I have a copy of that also here. And this basically is seeking for Black Sherif, giving them a second sermon remix. That's one single, and another single that he's going to release. And they said they had budgeted 50,000 USDs for that. But we didn't know Sherif had gone on to sign up and had presented one Aubrey, who was supposed to be an A&R for him as his manager to Empire. So when they were supposed to send the money to his account, they sent it to Aubrey, and it was only $15,000. And that's when Sherif had approached my boss that he had gone back to do it. But this is the amount they gave him instead of what they initially said they was going to give him. So my boss was like, I told you not to sign this because you giving them second sermon, looking at the numbers that Burna Boy already has and all that, we have the resources. If you want to shoot the video in Nigeria, if you want to shoot it in Ghana, we can still do it, and it will be your own property. Nobody else will own whatever streaming, whatever it is. So you shouldn't have done that. So my boss was really furious about that situation. That we have been providing everything for you ever since you came. We have given you a personal car, Mercedes-Benz AMG C43, and you had a backup car, which is Mercedes-Benz C300, and you had another backup car for your shows, which is a Tundra 2020, and then it was an Highlander, so it was almost 4 cars. And then the people, your team that you brought, you said they also needed accommodation. So basically it was 5 people and Sherif being 6. So it was 6 people that moved to the apartment that was given to him. And these people were being catered for every day, from food, clothing, shelter, whatever it is. And the one he introduced to us as his personal assistant is Madonna. He was given a car so his rounds could be easier. So he was given a car, and then his road manager, Fred, was also given a car. So aside these 4 cars that I mentioned earlier, the 2 colleagues of him also were given cars so that their movements and their errands would be much easier. So I think it was something like you had already breached our contract, because what it
So he, even before signing, he had come to you guys, and so it was when you refused to go ahead with it that he went behind the scene to do it.
And the funny thing is, this contract is going for 15 years. So
The Empire one.
yeah, imagine an artist like Black Sherif, and they are taking his 2 singles, and his EP is also included here. So your EP and your 2, and they're giving you $15,000 for 15 years. So if you break it down, it means every year they're basically giving you $1,000. And if you break it, it means every month they are giving you like $86, which doesn't even match up to what we have invested in you.
So when you guys saw the Empire contract as management, why didn't you take it up to directly?
Yeah, that is where the problem was. My boss had insisted he wanted to meet up with Empire, but Sherif kept giving him excuses. And then finally, when the money came in, he came out to tell my boss that, oh, I'm sorry I did this, but I had presented someone to them as my manager. So if I should let you go and meet them again, it will go against my brand. And my boss said, no, we can't do that. We can't just watch you do this, because it will even dent our entity's, how do we call it, status. That we sat there and watch you go into this, knowing that this is more like a suicidal contract. Because second Sermon Remix is one of the big projects that has emerged during this 2021-2022.
But then it's a project out of Empire, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, sure. Because it was Burna Boy that personally approached Black Sherif. It wasn't Empire that brought in Burna Boy.
But so it was after, when they knew it was happening, that they said they wanted it as part of their contract. Sure. It wasn't like they fueled it.
No, they didn't do anything about it.
Okay. All right. So now that all these things are happening, what is the way forward? Are you taking him on? Are you still insisting he's part of you, or you want him to pay the penalty for breaching your contract?
After the confrontation and when he had left the house, my boss had a meeting with us that he wants to give him some space, you know, to just go through his head and see, probably he will come back to his senses. Whilst he will also talk with the lawyers and see what will happen if, in case of the worst case scenario. But to our dismay, we were in Kumasi, and then my boss's sister calls him that he should watch TV3, but he didn't have the chance because he was already working on his site, and he said I should just make sure I see whatever his sister is saying. So I just went on TV3 to verify, and the question they had asked Black Sherif was, who is investing in you? Because we have seen artists blow, but after yours, we have seen that your appearance, everything is going on smoothly for you. And what he said was his mom, dad, and his big cousin. And then he mentioned one other dude's name, Rich Game. And that was like, why would you, because you have a contract with us, so you should at least appreciate us. Because my boss also has got family and friends who know what is really going on. So you going on a big platform like TV3 and mentioning other people's name as your investors, then it means he has been lying to his family and friends or whatever it is. So they also got furious. Because I think that alone was.
It depends on what kind of arrangement you're having with him. Because one, I don't think you made your arrangement with him public. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that he signed to you, or do they know?
Yeah, people know he's, because that's why I have all these contracts here.
I mean, the contracts, just like I haven't been able to go through it. It's confidential, so it's between you. But I'm talking about
these shows that we played and my boss had signed and all that. Okay. Yeah, so basically, the corporate entities that we had dealt with, like HD.
That's what I'm saying. So on a very professional level, you guys are doing what you're supposed to do. He doesn't have to go and sit on TV and say, these people are the ones doing it, because at the end of the day.
But on TV3, and after he had went behind my boss, and it's not only about Empire, it's one other booking contract he had gone into with Afro Nation, Miles. That is also for 5 years that Miles was going to be in charge of all his external shows, that international shows.
But do you also capture international shows in your...
Yeah, we basically everything. The contract is saying that the universe, so wherever Sherif finds himself, everything should come through us. So when we found out that too, it was like, this is a breach, because you cannot do anything discreetly behind who is managing or investing in you. And the person has already given you the space to operate, like, okay, you can have access to even my 20% for your first 1 year, so that you'll be a robust artist when it comes to finances, so that when you meet other artists, you will not feel inferior or something. Let me just draw your mind back to the TV3. What Black Sherif did on TV3 was a confirmation, indirectly, that he had left our company, or he had left our entity to be on his own. Because it's only right for you to appreciate who is really doing the investment in you.
Okay. I mean, it's a bit of a messed up situation, and like you were saying, you guys are waiting for time to know what comes out of it, what you're going to do, what he's going to do, and then you finally...
But right now, I think there's a lot that has gone on since that issue popped up. So my boss is already in contact with our lawyers, and we are already trying to seek legal battle with. We are even focusing on Empire, because we are not just fighting for Black Sherif. We are fighting for the industry. We are fighting for our upcoming artists. We are fighting for their future.
So what is your fight with Empire?
Looking at this contract, it's like you giving someone something to commit suicide with. So if this is what has been going on with all the other artists, then these people are really gonna suffer a lot. And for Empire, So basically, my boss was furious because he really wanted to meet Empire and make sure they do the right thing and treat our artists here with whatever they deserve.
But if you're not representing Black Sherif anymore, then you don't have any fight with Empire.
Oh, we still have a contract with him. It's still valid for 5 years.
Yes.
Even though he has breached it, going behind my boss to sign contracts and going out there to let people know he's no more with us and all that. We still have a 5-year contract with him. So he's still under, until this contract is terminated, Black Sherif is still under our management.
As business management.
Yes, business management.
Is it not quite separate from all the other kind of sort of management that could happen?
Yeah, that's why we had, this is the business manager, right? So the business management is broader than just an artist management. Because if you are the business manager, it means you are in control of everything that will bring income for you and the artist. And this is the most important or the vital thing when it comes to show business. You need money, and even if it's not show business, everybody needs money. So whoever is in charge or in control of making sure you make money for yourself, at least is playing a very vital role.
Between August and now, can you quantify your investments in him? Because from the examples you gave, a lot of it were infrastructure or material, and you can always take those things back.
Yeah.
But quantifying it, can you do beyond, say, I got him a car, which you can take out, you can collect back?
From August, he has recorded so many tracks which are not yet out, and my boss paid for all those expenses.
But you don't own them.
We own the masters because we pay for it. Basically, we have a contract with him, and those masters, we own it.
So, like I said, I'm going to wait to see how you guys decide to take this one on. But at least I'm happy that you are here to break things down, to let us understand what's going on. So at least when we are discussing it, there's some sort of context to it. Before we wrap up, do you have anything else you want to say?
Basically, my boss is not interested in tarnishing the image of Black Sherif. If he had not gone to the media to be ungrateful to him, if I should put it that way, the media wouldn't have even heard it, because he left the house like 5th of this month. It was on the 5th. So whatever that happened was just last week. The news broke up last week. So
Did you guys leak it?
the videos and everything that came out is something we had already been posting out to people. When it happens, we just post it out so that people can, you know what I mean? So my brother's sister also had all those with her, because she's basically a part of our team and our UK rep there. Yeah, so my boss is not interested in any negative news about Black Sherif or whatever it is. But what our interest is us getting what we supposed to get out of the whole investment we did.
Great. All right, so there you have it. Thanks so much. We'll be following also to see how this ends.